letting a woman feel like she can surrender and bring that baby earthside. It really is like people coming into our home to give birth.
Everything from the moment that she walks in, whether it's the staff, the physical space, is something that is going to be familiar to her when she comes back in her birthing time, and that makes a difference. And we have found that it even goes beyond the physical space, but it's that continuity of the midwifery care, that individual relationship that she has with the midwives, that does set us apart. It's a place that's safe. It's a place where women will be heard, and it needs to grow.
When I got pregnant with my daughter, I knew I wanted things to go a little bit different than how it went with my son. When I got pregnant with my daughter, my doula, who is amazing, told me about the birth center. I wanted to have the freedom to be able to birth the way I wanted to. You could have the baby in the bathroom if you want, on the bed, or in a birthing pool. So it felt really natural, and it was really led by what was happening within my body instead of instructing me, this is how you deliver a baby. It was the most seamless experience that I came in. I was welcomed at the door by my midwife. She monitored me for 20 minutes, and 20 minutes after that, I had my daughter on my chest. And I had just such a different birth experience that I feel like that's how birthing is supposed to be.
I'm driving downtown, dropping off a friend, and my babies are maybe 4 weeks old. And I drop her off, and then they just go bananas. They're crying, they are uncontrollably, I'm crying. I see Atlanta Birth Center, and it's like there was a sun only shining on this building. And I said, surely they'll let me come in and feed my babies. And when I came in, Joanna was at the front desk, and I basically just told her, I'm not a patient. I just need somewhere safe to feed my babies. And I'm in tears telling her this, and she said, she just jumped into action. She grabbed a baby. She said, come in right here. I fed them. I was able to get a nap. They gave me something to eat. I had tea and water. She was constantly just reassuring me, everything is okay. You're at the right place.
And it just felt like a very heartwarming moment where we were able to provide safe harbor and security to someone who is in need in that moment, which feels very in line with what we want to do as not just providing services to pregnant people, but also providing community to people who need it.
It was the best experience I could have had with another human being.
When I found out I was pregnant, I started to learn more about the high rates of maternal mortality for African American women. And so I knew that I had to be more intentional about where I decided to give birth and where I decided to receive prenatal care. I discovered the birth center, and I knew immediately when I walked in the door, just the energy of the midwives and just the atmosphere, it just felt like I was where I was supposed to be. It was a certain point where a decision was made that I needed to go and be transferred to the Atlanta Medical Center because my water had been broken for more than 24 hours and my labor just kind of stalled, and I needed some Pitocin. And so at first I started to panic a little bit, thinking, oh my God, it's happening. I'm about to become a statistic. I'm going to go over there. They're going to want to do a C-section. I'm going to die. Sarah just kept me calm and just made me feel like everything would be okay. When I got to the hospital, I just remember it just being so cold and so dark, and all the machines just kind of being very overwhelming. But I remember the moment that Sarah walked in the door. She had her diffuser in her hand, and it was like she brought the birth center with her, and I knew that everything was going to be okay. In a couple of hours, Nova arrived. I remember it just being the best moment of my life and just being at peace at how everything turned out.
So we opened our doors 2.5 years ago, over 500 births. We've started offering some programming. We have childbirth education classes that are taught in the space. We have postpartum group therapy.
It was really, really good to get out of my house and come someplace that just felt good, where I knew people and I knew I was going to have a good experience, and I can be vulnerable. I could cry. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to get all dressed up and put on makeup. I can roll in here in my pajamas if I needed to.
It's about taking care of people. It's about taking care of our future. It's about taking care of humanity. You know, we say those things from a very deep place, and we feel them from a very deep place. And that's why, you know, my staff is just incredibly committed. You know, they work so hard and so much and give up a lot in their own family life to be able to do this work.
I think the Atlanta Birth Center, in my experience here, is something that is unmatched. I could not have dreamed that I would have a birth experience like this. This experience has been something that has made me feel really good about being a woman.
If I had a magic wand, I would make it possible for every woman to be able to have an experience at the birth center, because that's what women deserve. They deserve that feeling when Sarah walked in the door. They deserve to be supported. They deserve to be affirmed. They deserve to not be rushed. They deserve just to be loved on during one of the most important moments of their lives.